What up?
How you feeling?
I'm good. Wait. How are you?
I'm good.
Alright. Let's do this.
You ready?
Right.
Alright, so before we begin, I'd like to say thank you for allowing me to be a part of your platform.
I appreciate you taking the time and making this happen. You know, I couldn't do it without you. So I definitely
thank
appreciate
you.
that.
How you feeling?
I'm nervous but excited. Way more excited than nervous.
I thought you said you wasn't nervous.
I mean, the closer it got to the day, I think I started thinking about it, but I got like different things going on too. So, you know, like I said, I'm just more excited than nervous.
How has 2020 been for you?
I would describe it as maybe a blessing and like a gift and a curse, I would say.
Why?
You know, the blessing part is that, you know, everything slowed down, but I really got a chance to get closer with the people that's close to me. You know, usually when things are going on, you don't just take that time to just spend that time with the people that's close to you. So, like even with my pops, my relationship got a lot better with him, you know, closer with my mom and stuff like that. So, and then just the cursing and just losing people, you know, just seeing the world stop. I mean,
Right.
we don't know if things are going to have to be the same again, but, you know, we just wait to see what happens.
So when you told me about this project, you told me that you wanted to let people into other people's lives and dispel misconceptions that people may have about them.
Yeah.
So what was the inspiration behind this project?
Oh, well, it probably started with myself. Like, you know, because I kind of look at myself and say, damn, well, I wonder how people view me, or, you know, or people have came to me and approached me about certain things. It's like, nah, you got me totally wrong. So then it just gave me the thought to think, like, all right, a lot of people probably had that same issue, or people, you know, have misconceptions about them. So I just wanted to create like a safe space and a platform for people to just be able to, you know, dispel any of those misconceptions.
What do you want people to take away from your episode?
Vulnerability. You know, it's okay to be vulnerable if it's things that you haven't shared, if you want to. Excuse me?
You got feelings?
Of course I have feelings. Yeah, everybody got feelings. I mean, I'm human.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're human, you definitely gonna have some feelings. So, for sure.
So what are some misconceptions you think people have about you?
Probably that I'm like a real serious person, or, you know, that I'm mean.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my exterior is a little rough. You know, I don't really smile a lot, so a lot of times probably people thinking like, damn, like he's mean or he's unapproachable. But if you know me, you know I'm silly. You know, I consider myself amongst my group and my friends, I'm their funnest friend. Like, believe it or not, I'm definitely their funnest friend. Definitely, I always tell them that I'm their funnest friend.
One thing that we spoke about is when you do discuss certain topics, people feel like you say things to get a reaction out of people.
Yeah, but I would like to think of myself as somebody who sees both ends of the spectrum. You know, I just don't look at it for what it is. I think about what it might be or what it could be, and, you know, I form my opinions based off of that. You know, so sometimes it's really unpopular, but then also, like, I don't care. I think I'm built for it. Like, I can articulate myself well, so if we're gonna go back and forth and debate about it, then that's just what it's gonna be.
You like to debate though.
Mm-hmm.
You was on the debate team, right?
Yeah, yeah. For like 2 years. That's funny. That's dope. I ain't think nobody really knew that. But yeah, I was on the debate team. Yeah, and it was like, I think that kind of honed my skills on just being able to debate, you know, and just talk and articulate myself without really getting into a place where I'm out of control, you know. So it taught me how to channel those feelings.
A lot of people might mistake your confidence for arrogance. Why do you think so?
Me personally, I would probably think that's because it's something they lack in themselves. You know, I don't want to put it out there like that, but that's what I think it is. Because if another person's confidence like bothers you and it makes you think of it as like arrogance, because like I said, the people that know me know that they could talk to me about anything. I'm receptive to the things that they say. If I feel like it's worth applying to my life, I take that advice. So I don't really see any arrogance in that.
Where does that confidence come from?
My family, you know, like my family is like, everyone's aggressive, you know, down from my mom, my grandma. So it's kind of instilled in me. And then, like, I'm like the youngest. Yeah, I'm pretty much the youngest. So for me, it was like either kill or be killed in my family. You know, I got an older brother, stuff like that. So it was just like, all right, well, you gotta learn to handle yourself and, you know, be able to carry yourself amongst the world and also your family. So I just think that built me up to be confident.
Do you think people think that you always have it together?
Probably, yeah. I would say that. I think
Just off of your demeanor?
Yeah, you know, because like I reach out to a lot of my friends a lot, you know, and not that I care about it, like I'm not keeping tabs, like, yo, I checked on you last week, so call me this week. It's more so like, that's just me. If I think about you, I'm gonna call you because I know life is sudden, things can happen, things can change like that. So I enjoy my friends, they know that, and I hope they know that and they understand that. So, I mean, yeah, I probably would think that though.
So what are some of your struggles that you either overcame or you still working on?
Patience. Like at 30, like, and it was funny, like my birthday was in June. I turned 30, but my barber, he always used to tell me, like back in the day, like it was a barber from like probably 10 years ago, shout out to G, and he always used to tell me, like, when you get older, like things are just gonna change, things are gonna slow down for you. And I'm like, I can't even imagine life being that way because life was just so rapid, days was moving so fast, years was years was feeling like weeks, and he just was like, now when you get older, when you turn 25, you're gonna feel like this. And when you turn 30, you're gonna feel like this. So like as of lately, like I just been like stepping back and everything's like just been coming together. You know, patience has been one thing that like I've been able to gain.
So growing up, how was your childhood?
It's a mixture. It's a lot of fun, lessons, entertainment, challenges. You know, like I got a big family, like I said, so it was really competitive at a lot of things. You know, like I have an aunt, my aunt Cher. She's like a big part of my inspiration as far as like me carrying myself confidently because she would make me cry. Like she was the type of person that make fun of you. You know, you miss a shot, like she would make you cry, and then it's to the point where it's like you want to rise to that occasion. So it kind of just it makes you tough. So
well, one thing a lot of people don't know I thought was funny that you had a curfew.
Oh yeah, I had a curfew for a long time. Hell yeah, my mom, she was the CEO, so I think that was a part of the reason why she was definitely on some like, nah, I'm trying to, you know, keep control of you, all your movements for as long as I could, because you know she knew that things could end up one way, you know, just in a blink of an eye. So she tried to protect me, and I know, like now it's like, damn, I know she was looking out for me, but at that time I wasn't feeling that shit.
Yeah. Do you think since you were the youngest that there was more pressure for you to keep up?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a choice. It wasn't like real pressure. It was just like, okay, if you're gonna be with your brother, like we have like a 7-year difference. So to me, it was just like I just have to do what he has to do if I want to be around him. So it was definitely some pressure to just rise to the occasion on multiple occasions actually. But yeah, for sure, I think it was a lot of pressure just growing up. You know, my pops left when I want to say 11. Like he just moved out the house. He like was in my life still, but it was just a difference not having that man figure or male role around the house. So you know, you feel like, damn, I want to do anything to help my mother. And it might be something dumb, it might be something smart, but at the end of the day, your mind shouldn't even, you know, be on that type of time.
Because you're a kid.
Yeah, but you know, and that's something that I want to give to my daughter. You know, I want to be able to let her be a child as long as she's able to be a child.
I know that you and your mom are very close. So in what ways did she shape you into the man you are today?
Alright, so for one thing, I think when I look at her and I look at myself, I can say that we're both very outspoken. I know growing up, her parents didn't allow her to like voice how she felt about things. So I guess when she became a parent of her own, that's something that she allowed for us. And like a lot of my family or outsiders would be like, yo, why y'all, you know, let him talk like that and stuff like that. And she's like, no, like I never got that opportunity to speak out. So she allows it. And you know, for better or worse, sometimes it's bad, don't get me wrong, but you know, it's healthy. Like it allows me to be comfortable with speaking to her. And like I welcome that amongst my circle of friends, and that's something I'm probably gonna welcome with raising my own daughter.
I also feel like she gave you a lot of discipline too.
Yeah, well my brother probably got like the worst end of that. By the time it got to me, it was more so like yelling, punishment.
But not in a bad way, discipline as far as you like seeing things through.
Yeah and no. Cause she's like somebody who's boisterous about it. Like she's gonna let me know like if she's not pleased about something. So even down in my routine, like before I left the crib, I had to clean up my room every single day. It wasn't no leave the bed. Like some people I know, you go to their house, they gotta clean up once a week. Like I had to clean up every day. So it was like a routine. So that discipline kind of prepared me for adulthood, because like now I'm looking at it as like there's certain things that I can't do without making my bed or cleaning up before I leave the crib. So.
And you also shared that she used to tear up your homework.
Oh yeah. Like that was a big thing, you know. That was a big thing that I didn't understand as a kid, you know. 'Cause she was big on legibility and penmanship and stuff like that. So if it was sloppy or anything like that, she'd take a pen and make a big X to it, rip it and stuff like that, make you start all over. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like why you gonna do that to me? But at the end of the day, like now people tell me, oh, you have such nice handwriting. So it paid off, but you know, you don't see those lessons when you're young. You just, you know, you want to do what you want to do.
Right. What about your father? What influences did he have on you?
Oh nah, that's the guy right there. He's laid back, like, so with him, he enjoys life to the fullest. I would say about him. Like my mom is serious, but he's the one that's like, get your money, do what you gotta do, and have fun. Like he retired last August, like thankfully. So
good for him.
yeah, he's been able to kind of be around more, you know. And then, like I said, with the pandemic earlier, like we've just been having a lot of time, so I'm really getting a chance to experience him on another level because like he doesn't have to run off to work, and you know I have the time as well. So yeah, probably the biggest thing from him I learned is just having fun and enjoying life.
One thing that we both have in common is both of our grandmothers passed away with dementia. So how did that affect you?
That's probably the hardest thing I would probably went through. You know, that was a difficult time for me. At that point, nobody in my life that close to me has passed, so that was like a traumatic experience, you know, because I'm my only grandson, like biological grandson at that. So it was just one of those things where she was close, we was close, she treated me good, you know, she was fun, she spoiled me. So, you know, I got caught up with life and just working a lot and chasing money and chasing the wrong things, and like at the blink of an eye, like she just wasn't able to be here no more. So that was like a real tough thing for me to handle, but that also made me treat life differently. And I think probably at that moment, that's when I turned and was like, all right, I need to value the people that I really care about because things happen.
So speaking of your daughter, you was telling me how you wasn't really realistic with it when you found out.
Nah, well, like I said, it stemmed from a conversation. It was what, 2016, and I was on a trip to California, and you know, I don't know what I was thinking, I don't know where I was at in my life, but I was just saying, like, you know what, I want to have a kid. Not really thinking about the whole family aspect, and I just was like, I want somebody that's going to be like an offspring of me, and it's just going to be unconditional love. She's not going to judge me, she's just going to look at me as a dad, you know.
Right.
And, you know, so, you know, when I got back to New York off of that trip, I found out about it. Like, I found out, I'm like, wow, like, it's real. So, you know, she's not showing or nothing when she finds out, but, like, as you see her growing and her body taking, like, shape, and then you understand, like, yo, it's really a whole baby inside, then it's like, all right, like, you know, it makes you just think about it, like, damn, like, it's real. So, you know, as time got closer to her arrival, things, like, I started getting nervous. I started thinking about, like, damn, well, my parents were pretty good. Like, how do I even live up to that? Because now that I look back at it, it's like, they made a lot of shit happen from scratch, like, from nothing. Like, but as a kid, you looking at it like, oh, this is just supposed to be here, and this is what it is. But now you gotta provide that. You know, I went on trips every summer. You know, my family, we traveled a lot together. So those are things that I'm like, all right, my daughter needs to travel because that's how I was raised. So it's important for me to just kind of lay that platform for her.
Do you have any fears about raising her?
Yeah, protecting her, of course. You know, like, I know some things I'm not going to be able to protect her from, you know, heartbreak, and things like that. I think everybody experienced that at some point, whether it's from a relationship or, you know, not being able to complete something that you set your mind to. You know, it's just multiple forms of, you know, failure, I would say. So, you know, stuff like that. But I think it's just important to be in her corner and give her that platform to speak up and, you know, voice how she feels about things. And I think after that, everything else will fall in place. You know, her mother is really great with her. You know, like, I appreciate the woman that she is with her. So for sure, I think that with both of us, I think she'll be able to go far.
What are some things that you would like your daughter to know about you as she gets older?
Oh man, that I'm a dreamer. Like, I'm a dreamer. Like, you know, that's really big for me because when I wake up in the morning, I really go off how I feel about things, and like how I feel, that's how my day is gonna go. So, you know, it's things that I want to do still to this day. Like, I don't think you ever lose that, you know, if you don't actually get a chance to experience it. It's just something that's always going to be in the back of your mind. So, like I said, there's other things that I want to chase, and there's other things that I want to pursue. So, for sure, probably the dream part. And I would just want her to know that. Just because I'm an adult, I'm still, like, chasing things.
Were there any moments during your life when you thought shit could have went left?
Left.
I know two. Oh, I have two in mind. I want you to think about it.
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
I really don't know. I really don't know.
I was gonna say when the guy pulled the gun out, y'all, or nah, he wasn't really.
No, I was afraid, but that it wasn't a situation that started out good and made me feel like it turned left. So that's I didn't know what he was going to. Oh, but if you want to get into that, then yeah. Well, it was like a summer day. I was in summer school, and you get out early at summer school, so I would hang out with my friends. So like my right hand man Mel, he came up there, we chilling. You know, he was like, "Yo, come to your school, hang out." So we go to McDonald's and come back. So we walking back by the school, and Mel is like lagging behind. So God said something to him. So he turned around and kind of spoke to him, but I already knew what type of time this dude was on. Like, he's notorious for this type of behavior. So I'm like, yo, come on, bro. Like, just come on, it ain't even worth it. So, long story short, I know to run. Mel didn't run. The guy had a gun on him. So, you know, I'm running and I turn around and I see that he's on the floor, actually. So I'm like, fuck. So I'm thinking, like, in that top minute, like, it was like a split second. Either he was going to shoot him or he may not shoot him, but I was just going to take my chances of running back and see, like, all right, either that, you have to chill or shoot both of us. But at that time, I was comfortable with going back, you know. That's like my best friend. I know him since I was 5.
Right.
So just the idea of him not even being here, and then the guilt of him being up at my school, then somebody having to explain that to his mom and shit like that, it was just like, I couldn't take that. I couldn't handle that. So I just woke back, you know, and luckily we got out of there. We still here, you know, 20 some odd years later. So it's great. Everything happened for a reason.
Do you have any other moments?
Nah, not that I could think of. Yeah, I feel like you got something in mind. I do.
No, just asking.
No.
I don't know your life. So I asked you this and you said you'd get back to me. So do you have any regrets?
Regrets. I regret not taking taking the opportunity to maybe go to college.
Really?
I would say that just for the networking purposes, like, cause I was pretty closed off. Me and my friends, we was tight, like, you know, it was just.
Well, you been friends with the same friends since
forever,
right?
Yeah. So it was like I never even thought of even having people or associates outside of that. So, you know, I think that kind of like made my world a little smaller. But then.
You think a lot of people or a lot of men from New York think like that?
Yeah, because it's, you know, you grow up not trusting, you know, you see so much going on, like this guy killed him over this and they actually just friends, or he doing something with his girl, and they just kind of make it like, you know what, I'm gonna stick to the people that have my best interests, and you know, you just grow up from there. I definitely think it's normal for men to feel that way, especially in New York.
What school you went to?
I went to two. I went to high school for law enforcement and public safety, and then
No, what college you went to?
Oh, what college I went to? Probably at HBCU. Honestly, yeah. Like, I love my people. Like, I love everyone really, but just that experience. Like, it's a place I like. I like Atlanta. Like, just to see, like, you know, young, successful black people just, you know, making moves and look like, you know, just aspiring for something. I think that. Like, they make things look so obtainable out there, so it's just like, it's very inspiring. So
I went to HBCU.
Which school?
Tennessee State.
Oh, word? How was it?
Oh, I love it. The best time of my life.
What did you get most from that experience?
I think it was, I would say the community. I think that when you see people that look like you and they doing their thing, like, and they come from the same background as you, it just make you want to just like, and then you're exposed to so many different shit, like, even when it comes to like pledging, when it comes to like teaching. No, I didn't pledge.
Why not?
Because my line got suspended.
So, I don't know what that means, but.
So the line got dropped.
Okay.
Yeah.
What line was it? Or you not allowed to speak on that?
That's okay right
there.
Oh,
alright, cool.
But yeah, I think all of us now. I also think when people understand the importance of what HBCUs mean and why it was built. It's like we should definitely give back to our ancestors because them niggas really did a lot for us to be here. So you can still go back to school though when you don't want to.
I think that's far behind me. I think you don't really need it at this point. Like, you know, if you're gonna be like a doctor or a lawyer or something like that, of course, but like you could get a lot of information just from doing research on your own.
Right.
You know, and it's kind of like right now is the best time to kind of be like an entrepreneur because the resources are really there.
Ownership is important.
Very important, you know. So if you just have a little ambition, like I said, and you want to do something with yourself, you could definitely make something out of yourself without going to school.
What you would have majored in?
I wanted to be a lawyer. I really wanted to be a lawyer.
I can see you being a lawyer.
I really wanted to be a lawyer until I found out that you had to go to school that long. You know, I got like a few lawyer friends, and it's just like, nah, like, you know, it's commendable. You know, anybody to even, you know, stick through it because I'm sure it's challenging, you know, and it's competitive as well. So for anybody who sticks through that, you know, I tip my hat off to.
Right. When it's all said and done, what would you like your legacy to be?
My legacy. I would want people to remember me for being somebody that they could reach out to anytime they need. You know, like everybody knows that they could call me for whatever, you know. I'm open to having discussions because that's how I really learned a lot of lessons, you know, just from other people's experience sometimes. You know, like I sit there and I listen and it made me rethink about things that I could have done differently, whether it's relationships or friendships, you know, and then you know, they keep it real with me. You know, they don't just, like, they're not yes men. So they'll hold me accountable. If I'm on some bullshit, they'll, yo, that was whack, or that's corny. So, you know, you need that in your life for people to, like, kind of set you straight.
So before we leave, you want to tell them what else you've been working on?
Well, this is actually what I've been working on. I'm coming up with, like, a fashion apron line. You know, and probably the thought process for that was really mainly just about accessibility, you know. The whole pouch, the fanny pack wasn't really my thing, so I kind of came up with something that was like, well, what fits me? What can I do? So basically,
I like it.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Like you said, it's a statement piece. So, you know, you can just snap it back, you know, so you can keep it moving. And then right here, you can like throw a little thing into it. You know, I got my AirPods in here. You know, you can stuff your phone in there. You got your passport or your wallet, you know, anything. It's just really for accessibility purposes, you know, and at the same time, it got flair, you know, you can do little things with it, so you know, hopefully people would like it and feel the way I feel about it. No, that's it. You know,
when is it available to order?
I'm still working on all of that. Like I'm working out like the name and all that stuff like that. So once well, the name is done. I guess I just let it out there. The name is called Tomorrow's Nothing.
Oh, cute. I like
Tomorrow's Nothing. And
what does that mean?
Well, what it means to me is that basically, it's like an old adage when people say don't put off
what you can do today.
Yeah, exactly. So that whole thing was just like, it's real because I've been thinking about this for like a while. And I was like, damn, what if somebody came along and just took like the idea.
You've been working on this project for a while too.
Yeah. So that's what I said. And it's just like the procrastination, you know. So it's like, yo, you can start today. Tomorrow's nothing. Like if it wasn't on tomorrow, what could you say you did today? So that was kind of like my whole thought process with that name.
Nice, I like it.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for letting me be a part of this.
Thank you. I appreciate you for making the time, honestly.
I know you're gonna be all the way in Queens.
That's cool. This where it's at. This where it's at. But thank you, like I said, for helping me kickstart my platform. I want to give other people, whether it's artists, designers, whatever you got going on, if you want to come just sit in front of the camera and talk and be vulnerable or open about some of the things. Yeah, I probably could have got like further into that, but you know.
As far as in what?
Certain topics.
Like?
Yeah, but no, like I said, it's real. Like it's
what topics?
Real. Relationships and shit like that.
Well, I didn't know you wanted to go into your relationships.
I mean, you still could.
Relationships with who?
In general, how I feel about them.
But how do you feel about relationships? I know you value your friends and your family.
Yeah. Well, you mean like with the companion, like
right.
A female. I value them as well. I value a relationship with it. Like it's sacred. Right. It's really sacred, you know. just coming up, you wasn't necessarily taught that.
Mm-hmm.
And
you had a good example at home?
Yes and no. Yes and no. I got examples of both, like great men and, you know, men that probably could have done better too, you know. So it's hard to sit there and say that you need an example, you know, because I think that's just something you gotta feel with somebody. Like that love you gotta feel.
But you can't feel something if you don't know, if you never had a model of it.
But that's just pure. Like to me, modeling is like copying off somebody. It's not necessarily how you feel, because we all can see something and just do it over, but it's not exactly how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Like love is like nobody taught me how to love my daughter. That's just a feeling that I feel. Like it's unconditional, opposed to like whether my father was there or he loved me the most. That doesn't affect how I love my daughter.
But you seeing an example of your father and how he treats your mother is the example of a relationship that you may duplicate.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, it's hard to really say that it was like a lack of role models or positive male role models, because like I said, I have examples of both. I probably just made the wrong decisions. I chose to follow the different ones, you know, the ones that appear cooler, the ones that really appear to have more, or whatever the case may be. Like, you know, you're young, you're impressionable, and you feel like, damn, like I want to be like that. Like, we grew up looking at rappers and videos, and you know, we kind of idolize the wrong things. So I'm a victim to that as well. Like I'm no different.
So where are you at now with it, as far as relationships?
Right now, I took a step back from it. Like I've been single for 3 years. You know, after my child's mom and stuff like that, like I just decided to take a break and kind of work on myself and just see like what I wanted out of life, because a lot of my plans had to do with being a partner with someone. So now I had to step back and be like, well, what is it that you like? Do you want this? Do you like this? And stuff like that. So, you know, you just figure it out until you really feel like you're ready.
And when you feel like you might be ready?
I can say I'm closer to ready now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm closer to ready now.
So that means you're going to get in a relationship soon?
Yeah. I want to be in one. Like I said, I think I'm just at that point in my life where, you know, I'm building on my own, and like I do want somebody to share those things with and have a nice family and do all of that stuff, because that's how I was raised. You know, I seen it. I grew up seeing that. So to me, that's like normal. You know, so to get back into that place and me be the man of the household, that'd be dope. That'd be dope.
You want to tell your supporters what you told me about? You gotta date a certain type of woman before you get serious?
Yeah. Well, we can speak about that.
What I'm talking about?
What do you wait?
Remember you told me you want to experience a certain type of woman?
Oh yeah. Nah, we're not speaking on that. We're not speaking on that. We're not speaking on that. We're not doing that. I'm not coming out like that, because I don't want my DMs to be going crazy.
Yeah.
We're not doing that though. We're not doing that.
Oh my God.
Well, we will.
But what's the advice you give to everybody, especially men, when it comes to working on yourself?
I think the realistic thing in that whole process is just give yourself time, you know, because people think you're gonna see results like really, really quickly.
You gotta be consistent.
Yeah, and that hard work. So it's like, just take those little steps. Like baby steps are really important, you know, because that's what's gonna like build a strong foundation for you, I believe. I think if you try to skip those steps and, you know, jump straight to the top, your foundation gonna be weak. Like that's how I look at it. So
and putting yourself out there.
Yeah. And that's something, like I said, like I learned later on, and like, you know, now like I'm in my 30s. Well, I am 30, so now that I'm older, it's like, damn, I could have done this a lot differently.
Right.
You know, things could have been way easier, but you definitely got to put yourself out there. And that's something that my mom always told me too. You know, you got to be in the game. Like she always say, put yourself in the game. Like that's something that she always said to me.
Right. No, I agree. When we had a conversation, you was telling me how you met somebody and you just went for it. And I feel like a lot of people get in their own way when it comes to really grabbing what's right in front of them.
Yeah. Well, I always put myself like at high value. I always looked at myself as like valuable and an asset. So to me, it was like,
you said the world needs to know you.
They do. They do need to know me. I feel like everybody, even if it's not me, they need to know somebody like me. Because I bring a lot of different things.
Real Mike.
No, no, definitely. Somebody that's like me for sure, because I'm gonna fight for you. You know, I'm gonna support you. I'm gonna be there for you. Like, and honestly, just having that support from a friend, it can go a long way, because some people not blessed to have family or friends and stuff like that. So like that should go a long way. But definitely, like, if you know someone that's confident, you know, outspoken, and you can handle it, definitely cherish that person, for sure.
I agree.
Yeah, because a lot comes with it. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect, and I always say the right things, but people know I come from a good place. You know, they know I come from a good place. Yeah.
I think this is good.
Yeah, nah, I agree.
I think it's good. I think a lot of people don't really get a chance to really see you for you.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do like a part 2. We're gonna do a part 2. I might go like further into it, to like what's going on and shit like that.
You let me know.
Yeah, no, I will. Thank you. I appreciate it. Nah.
Hey, yo. I appreciate it too.
Hey yo, woke up, brushed my teeth, looked in the mirror, see my hands and face, I barely couldn't sleep.